Hey everyone, my name is Jeff, and yes, I am a Xennial. If I were a Joe, though, I think that my specialty would probably be watching old cartoons and yapping. Do you think they have an opening for someone like that? Well, here we are once again with a little bit of overanalysis. I hope everyone is having a great day. Today I'm excited because I'm back at GIJoe, and it's been a minute for me. I'm really thrilled to finally be circling back to this. I started doing a reaction series to the GIJoe Real American Hero episodes, and I'm a kind of guy who's fascinated by the lore, right? The larger story within the story. Yes, meta lore and what was happening when they were making the show is of interest to me, sure. But what I really want to make the connections on are the characters and those ongoing plot lines in the story itself. So, as part of my obsessive overanalysis, I've been taking a look at the opening credits. So far, we've had a look at the first miniseries, then the second miniseries, which was The Revenge of Cobra. And now that I've started watching season 1 proper, I thought it would be fun to take a minute, take a beat with me, if you will, and let's go on a little adventure, and let's have a look at the opening credits to season 1. And a little preview. I've watched this, and it may be the best of the 3 openings so far. So to give you a complete rundown of remind you where we are now, let's start by taking a look and just watching it. Okay, hold on, let me bring it up here. Here we go.
Yo, Joe! He'll fight for freedom wherever there's trouble. G.I.Joe is there. G.I.Joe, American hero. G.I.Joe is there. It's G.I.Joe against Cobra, the enemy, fighting to save the day. He never gives up. He's always there, fighting for freedom over land and air. G.I.Joe.
G.I.Joe is the code name for America's daring, highly trained Special Mission Force. Its purpose, to defend human freedom against Cobra, a ruthless terrorist organization determined to rule the world.
He never gives up, he'll stay till the fight's won. G.I.Joe will dare. G.I.Joe, American hero. G.I.Joe.
So as you can see, there are sort of thematic similarities between this and, of course, the previous versions of this intro. They both have the ensemble cast of characters. There's a sequence of a battle happening here, little parts of it that you're seeing, snippets of it, right? Highlighted little bits with certain like special characters, and then it kind of wraps up in a bow with the Joes driving the Cobras off or finishing the battle, and then all standing and cheering in a lineup in front of an American flag. This is kind of the par for the course for GIJoe Real American Hero openings. This one is interesting. I kind of thought in my mind, remembering this from like as when I was a kid watching the show, I had thought that like it was a bigger ensemble, but maybe I'm remembering, one of the later openings. But this one is interesting. They don't include all the characters, that's for sure. But very notably in this one, I don't know if you can spot it, there are 1 or 2 people who are like kind of key, I would say, that are not officially listed in my mind. Look, we'll get to it, okay? So first off, let's just have a quick look at what's actually happening here, okay? Okay, bringing it up here. Okay, we're coming. The Joes are emerging towards a battle out of the sun. Smart battle tactic. The enemy can't see you if they're blinded by the sun, right? Right. We've got some Mauler tanks here. We've got the Sky Strikers. That's the Striker, I think it's called, the one on the right there, like Jeep with the gun on the top. And I can't tell what that one on the left is. Probably just a Vamp, which is just the standard Joe Jeep, right? Anyway, they're coming out of the sun. That's great. We've got Flint here, yo-joing. sending people as they take off from the G.I. Joe base. Remember, I think maybe it's in canon somewhere, but I don't know exactly where the G.I. Joe base is located, but somewhere in the desert. So this all tracks so far. Sending the Joes off to battle. There's Dusty sitting in a what do you call it? What are those called? Skyhawks? Skyhawks? Skyhawks. Am I going crazy? Anyway, Dusty, who is a new character. Flint is a new character starting in season 1. Wait, was Flint a new character starting in season 1? Or did Flint start in... No, Flint started in The Revenge of Cobra. Apologies. I'm getting my timeline confused here. We've got characters and things happening here. So you've got Barbecue on the left here. You've got Alpine and Bazooka behind him. They're riding on... I was kind of confused as to what that was. Then I looked on 3D Joe's, and I think that this is an armadillo, which is actually like a mini tank. But it's got this like standing thing for them to stand on the back. So I think that's what they're on. I don't know who the driver is there. It could be Crankcase or someone like one of the driver characters. But this vehicle itself didn't come with a driver in it. You've got some of the Skyhawks there and the Sky Strikers in the background and the Dragonflies, which are the helicopters. And on that Skyhawk there, you've got Quick Kick, who is definitely a new character starting in the beginning of season 1. Interesting that Barbecue is here, though, isn't it? He's like a very colorful character. He's a very notable character, but having just rewatched the Pyramid of Darkness 5-parter, which is the intro 5-parter to season 1 of, the proper season 1 proper of A Real American Hero, he's in it in the background, but he has 0 lines. I seem to recall that there's at least one sort of feature episode with him, but I don't remember him being like a major player. Like, he's not like Quick Kick. He's certainly not like Alpine or Bazooka, who are constantly making, cracking jokes and being the comic relief for the series. Anyway, everyone's heading off to battle, right? Pan across, we've got Mutt, presumably Junkyard, who's the dog, right, is like out of shot here. He's like on the ground somewhere at foot level. And these guys are just running. They're running alongside. Like, we don't have time to get in a vehicle. We're just going to run to the battle. And then over here, at first blush, I thought it was Breaker, but no. That's Tripwire. What is Tripwire doing here? He had his moment to shine. I'm sorry, like, I don't have anything like against Tripwire, but like he definitely had his moment to shine in the miniseries, in Revenge of Cobra. But I don't remember him being a major character either. Is he a major character in the regular like G.I. Joe Real American Hero TV show? Anyway. Interesting who they chose to highlight here, because I would not have pegged Barbecue or Tripwire. Certainly Tripwire. Barbecue, maybe you make the argument like from a design standpoint. He's like an interesting character visually. So, okay, fine. Okay, now we get the money shot, right? Cobra, again, with their elaborate vehicles, has a huge like floating helicarrier base kind of thing, of course shaped like a giant snake. Like hood open, right? Like a Cobra, and Sky Striker's flying in. The lead Sky Striker, who's that piloted by? You know who it is. It's Ace. Into the reflection. That's a cool shot. And we see a bunch of the flight pods, aka trouble bubbles. I don't remember. Like, I know that when the toy came out, they were called flight pods. I don't think that they were branded as trouble bubbles until like later in the show itself. Bunch of Cobra Troopers, though, on these trouble bubbles. And then right in the middle there is Zartan, of course, who, as we know, is, a main player. So good to see Zartan here. I love Zartan. And now we're cutting to inside the big snake, right? The big snake airship. Cobra Commander standing there. That big red glass behind him is the eye of the snake. He's, "Raw, we're going to get those Joes. The world will be ours." And we see the Baroness from behind here. She's standing in front of the globe with Cobra's logo on it. None of the lines across the Cobra's hood for some reason, but whatever. You get the idea, right? He wants to take over the world. This is a cool like heads-up display superimposed over Ace. Like, I'm trying to think if they did this shot in the show, but this is very like, think about this. This is like 1985, 85. Yeah. This is like this sort of styling of a graphic of the heads up display on top of the looking at the face. This is almost like Iron Man, right? I wonder how early this sort of design, because it's it's an interesting approach, and it's clearly not like, we're totally used to it now from seeing the inside a heads up display of like Iron Man and like superheroes, but did they do this in other in movies of the time? Like, I don't know what kind of like 1985, like what kind of heads up display would you have seen? Something in Star Wars maybe, or like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of like a mech pilot or something, maybe like robot jocks, I don't think so. Okay. So now we're getting some shots. They're zooming in, and of course, he's scared. Look at him standing there scared. And oh, okay. Now we're cutting away. We've got this Skyhawk with quick kick, and our good buddy Snake Eyes jumping off onto the Crimson Twins, punches out the one. Good job, Snake Eyes, and the other one feels it immediately. Sorry, Crimson Twins. Everything moves very fast, so we got to do the start and stop. But next, we're cutting to Destro. Of course, he's on one of the mounted cannons on this big ship. In comes Alpine and Bazooka. I don't know if they're on the back of that armadillo still. Maybe it's something else, but they're going pretty fast, it looks like. Cutting through, throws the grapple hook. Classic Alpine, throws the grapple hook, and then they're swinging up. This scene totally reminds me of Star Wars, right? Luke grapple hooking up to the top of the AT-AT in Empire. And I think maybe I'm primed for this because of a sequence coming up in a minute, like that's another Star Wars reference. But certainly it would make sense to reference Empire Strikes Back in 1985. All right, so they're swinging up. Look at this shot. And he swings up, and here comes Bazooka to take out Destro. Poor Alpine, I hope he's okay. Tosses him straight off. Caught by Footloose. Destro's a big guy. Thrown off of that thing. I know they were flying low, but still, like, that's impressive. And Footloose immediately just tosses him, over to Roadblock, who's like, got him, and over. Oh, here's the Dreadnoks, conveniently standing here. Knock takes out Cutter, Ripper, and Torch. And now we're into the second Star Wars reference, the trench run, obviously. So you've got Shipwreck piloting a shark here, being chased by a Rattler, right? And then this is an interesting shot here, because look at this shot. I guess they're still in the trench, but like, is that Wild Weasel? Is that his name? I think that's the name of the pilot, right? I don't understand why he's ejecting here, but he's ejecting. And then that was Dusty, right? That was Dusty firing an RPG straight at the camera. And then this is the most interesting part of the opening. And I think perhaps the only one major problem that I have. So this shot and I think the next shot are both from the opening to The Mass Device, which is the first miniseries for A Real American Hero. So I, in good conscience, do not count this as part of the opening to the regular season. It's just reusing animation. And I understand why you did it. And I get that, like, laying out all of these characters in a cool dynamic way in a battle sequence, like, may be difficult. But, and I like Stalker, and, look, you've got Stalker, forget everyone here, but you've got Stalker, Scarlet, Duke, and Gung-Ho. All of which are, like, core characters. Like, absolutely. but they couldn't be bothered to put new animation together for those 4 core characters. This opening here, these 2 shots here that are stolen from the or other opening are the only instances of Duke and Scarlet in this opening credit sequence. Do you think that maybe like there was like some, like they finished it and then they came back and there was like some notes from the producer like, where the hell is Duke? Like, I understand that Duke sort of steps back from the limelight so that Flint can sort of shine in a more sort of active duty, like lead role, like largely to like take this ensemble cast into the full season. But Duke's still central, and it's not like Hawk, who like shows up once in a while. Duke's still in the show quite a lot. And Scarlet, the sort of perhaps maybe the love interest there, but like she still kicks ass. And there's only like a handful of women in G.I.Joe. We should be highlighting her more, right? Gung Ho, I mean, I know I kind of put Gung Ho in that same sort of category as Alpine and Bazooka, and I know that those guys are a comedy duo. I mean, they're no Steeler and Short Fuse, but Gung Ho is like a great foil for any sort of serious business, and he kind of kicks ass. He has this like, he's got like that, you remember Jesse Ventura from The Predator? He kind of like, that's kind of the look, right? Or whatever that village person was. He's got the stash. It's so good, right? Anyway, I'm a little disappointed. I would just say that they reused these shots, even though they're good shots. So this, and then this shot, of course. But this is a great shot. But like, why are you reusing it? Anyway, okay, back to all new footage. Those 2 shots are the only shots that are reused. We've got Airtight here, new character, setting a bomb. I'm sorry, Airtight here, setting a bomb on the top of the airship here. In the background, Lady J is fighting it out with some Cobra trooper. Punches him out. Meanwhile, Cobra Commander has moved out to the outside of the. I don't know why he's on the exterior now of his ship. Why isn't he in the command center behind that glass behind him? But he wants to take some shots himself, I guess, at the Joes. So he's about to take out Lady J. Like, he's got her literally in his sights. Flint's not having any of that. Grabs him, throws him through the window, smashes the globe. Where's the Baroness? I don't know. She's probably escaped with Destro. And the bomb is going to go off. One, and a massive explosion takes down the entire ship. Also a little reminiscent of I was going to say it's a little reminiscent of, speaking of Star Wars, of what's the ship, the Executioner, the big ship at the end, the Superstar Destroyer, crashing into the Death Star, the second Death Star in Jedi. But I guess this was like before Jedi. So anyway, that's just the where my mind goes with it. It's a big ship crashing, though. That's cool. And somehow our heroes have survived. But we've got Airtight, Lady J, Flint, Alpine, and Bazooka here in order. We did theoretically, although I guess, we had, wasn't Quick Kick and Snake Eyes, weren't they on the ship? And Dusty was on there firing that RPG. So I don't know where those guys went, but these guys thankfully all got out. I assume the other guys got out okay too. So they run out. Cool guys, don't look at explosions. I get it. Just running away. And then we cut to the big finale shot, the group shot, where they're standing on top of the logo. And we got the flag and the fireworks in the background, and they're celebrating. And everyone's here. Not everyone, but that's the point. Not everyone's here. There's no Duke here. There's no Scarlet here. I don't know what's happening. I don't really get it. So it's so interesting. There's another. Sorry, I just saw another weird thing too. Okay, so wait, look here. We've got Quick Kick and we've got Snake Eyes. We've got Barbecue down on his knees. Is that Dusty? And Dusty on the wing. And Airtight's flying the Sky Striker now. And that's Breaker, I think, on top there. Then you've got Lady J, Bazooka, Flint, Alpine. That's Footloose. Gung Ho without a hat. What's up with that, Gung Ho? And they're on, I think that's an Armadillo. And then Shipwreck and Roadblock. Why does Gung Ho not have his hat on? That's like his thing, right? All right, and then the flag's being raised behind them, and we've won the day, and it shines, and that's it. Wow. Right? Am I right? Like, I know that was like a lot of detail very quickly, but like, yeah. So here's Snake Eyes and Quick Kick are on the ship. Where did the Crimson Twins go? Right? Alpine, or not Alpine, Footloose, Roadblock. Huh. How did Wild Weasel...
GIJoe is the
I'm sorry, my mind is going like a mile a minute trying to capture every little detail that I'm seeing.
to defend human freedom against Cobra.
It reminds me of this top of the Death Star too. I think that's what's also like in my head with all the Star Wars stuff, right? Interesting. So interesting. Huh. So, who are we missing? We're really missing, like, obviously we're missing, Duke and Scarlet and Stalker, and I guess we're not missing Gung Ho totally because he's here in the ending. We are definitely missing some of our specialists. We're missing the people who I like Snowjob and Torpedo. We're missing Recondo was in for some. I don't know. I'm not a huge Recondo fan, but like Recondo was in the opening for the last one. We're missing Doc. Doc, who is in like a lot of episodes. We're missing CoverGirl, of course. Poor CoverGirl. She always gets the short end of the stick, right? They should have just kept her blonde and like had her be a part of the show, and she could have been the disguise expert. Like that's what she was supposed to be, and then they just dropped it, you know. I don't see any Polly or Timber here either, and Mutt's not here. Why is Mutt not in this shot here? Mutt or Junkyard, obviously. On the Cobra side, it's pretty obvious. We're missing what's it called? We're missing Storm Shadow. We're also missing Scrap Iron and Firefly, but like I can live without them. That's fine. But I like, would you put Barbecue Blowtorch? Blowtorch is another guy we're missing. Blowtorch? Or is it Flash? Do they both have blowtorches? Does Barbecue have a blowtorch? Or is that like 2 Fahrenheit 451 for him? Does he use a water cannon? That's what he should use. And like an axe, right? I think he's got an axe. He probably just uses a gun. Whatever. It's not as ridiculous as Quick Kick walking around at all times without a shirt or shoes on. I think the most egregious thing, though, is on this shot right here that Duke's not here. That like honestly bothers me. I wonder if someone said like, look, we got to keep the character count down. It's too much. So it's nice that like aside from that one section of like we just cribbed previous footage from a different intro, I do like this one because it's almost a simpler sort of story. It's got a straightforward narrative of like, here's the clear, it's just Joe versus Cobra. They've got an airship. We're trying to take it down. It's like one simple story. So overall, I actually think that this is a really good opening, but I want to give it the benefit of the doubt of being the best one, which it probably still is. But I'm upset. I am legitimately kind of like, they should have taken the time to just put Duke in the battle, or like advising from within the headquarters. He could have been on in the headquarters on the screen, like rah, rah, go guys, go, talking on the radio or something, with Scarlet standing behind him, and then they're overseeing the battle, right? That's what I would have done. Put him in the rear with the gear. I mean, he's the commander after all, right? Anyway, that's my take on it. Did we learn anything? I don't know. Maybe. I think this speaks to who they're looking to focus on throughout this first season. And I don't believe the credits change until season 2, where I know they add in, Serpentor and all that sort of stuff, Dr. Mindbender and all the season 2 people. But let's, as we go on and continue watching the season 1 of GIJoe here on the XennialLens, I'll be interested to sort of check back in with this opening credits and see how it sort of operates as a touch point for the characters that get more development as the series progresses. Like, does Footloose and Airtight, does their little camaraderie continue on past Pyramid of Darkness? How many episodes does Barbecue really feature in? I know he's in 1 or 2. Like, I clearly remember that, but he's not Zartan. He's not in like every episode. He's not Roadblock. He's not a fan favorite like Roadblock, unless he is. Sorry, am I missing something? Is Barbecue a fan favorite? Anyway, let me know your thoughts down below. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you'll stick around. We're going to be doing more reactions to season 1 of A Real American Hero as it comes. And I'll catch you next time. So long, everyone. Bye-bye.